All right, let's jump right into something that could totally change the game for India. For decades, we've thought of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands as, a beautiful but remote strategic spot. Well, now, they're at the very heart of an energy story that is, well, it's absolutely huge.
So it all kicks off with this pretty wild claim from India's oil minister, Shri Vijaypuram-2. He's not just hinting at a nice little discovery. No, he's calling it a game changer, with a potential $20 trillion benefit. I mean, a number that big, it could literally put India in a whole new league on the world's energy stage. So you got to ask, what's behind a claim like that?
Well, that massive $20 trillion number, it all comes down to this, 370 million. That's in metric tons of oil equivalent, which is just a fancy way of putting different kinds of energy like natural gas on the same scale. And get this, that huge amount is from just one single block they've looked at so far.
Okay, so what in the world did Oil India Limited, the state-run company, actually find out there? What's all the buzz about? Let's dig into the nitty-gritty of this thing, because it's a pretty big deal.
All right, so the official word is from Oil India Limited, a big state-owned player. They've found hydrocarbons, we're talking natural gas here, at a spot called the Shri Vijaypuram-2 well, and it's pretty close to shore, just 17 kilometers off the Andaman coast. This is the first time anyone's confirmed a find like this in the region.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. It's not just that they found gas, it's the quality of the gas. The samples came back with a whopping 87% methane. So, why is that number such a big deal? Well, that 87% methane, that's everything. It's proof of two super important things. First, it tells us that the whole underground system, the plumbing, if you will, is active and actually making gas. That's huge. And second, it means this isn't just some cool science experiment. Nope, this is high-quality stuff that you can actually sell. It's commercially viable. And if you want to wrap your head around just how massive this is, check this out. India as a whole country uses about 300 million metric tons of oil equivalent per year. This one potential find could deliver 370 million metric tons. Think about that for a second. This one discovery could be more than what the entire nation uses in a whole year. That's just staggering.
And here's the kicker. This might just be the tip of the iceberg. This huge potential is coming from a survey of only 8,000 square kilometers. The area where you'd expect to find oil and gas is way, way bigger, and they haven't even looked at most of it yet. This could seriously be just the beginning.
To really grasp what this could mean, you'll hear a certain phrase thrown around, Guyana-sized. The oil minister himself said it. So what's that all about? Why is everyone suddenly comparing this to a small nation in South America? What's the deal with Guyana?
So picture Guyana, a small nation, not a lot going on in terms of natural resources. And then, bam, ExxonMobil finds oil offshore at a well called Liza-1, and it changed everything. We're talking 11 billion barrels of oil. It turned Guyana into one of the fastest growing economies on the entire planet. That's the kind of epic transformation people are dreaming about for India's energy scene.
But that amazing success story? It wasn't just blind luck. Not at all. It came down to sheer persistence. And that persistence can be summed up in this single number.
See, in Guyana, they had to drill 40 times and came up with nothing. 40 dry holes. But on the 41st try, they hit the jackpot. It's the perfect reminder that this whole exploration game is super high risk, but man, the reward can be absolutely massive.
So that brings up a big question. How did India get here? Why is this happening now? And the answer isn't just about rocks and geology. It's about a major shift in government policy that basically unlocked the whole thing.
See, for the longest time, the Andaman Basin was what's called a Category 2 zone. What that means in plain English is everybody suspected there was stuff there, but because of red tape and other issues, nobody ever really went to look for it. The potential was just sitting there, locked away.
So, the game changer came after 2016 when they switched up the policy. The old way was complicated. It was like telling a company, hey, go find the oil, and then we'll figure out how we're going to share the actual barrels. The new way is way simpler. It's go find it, sell it, and just give us a cut of the revenue. It's so much more straightforward and, frankly, way more appealing for businesses.
And you can see the result right here. The impact was pretty much instant. Once that new policy kicked in, it was like a starting gun went off. The simpler rules and better deals led to a huge surge in exploration, not just in the Andamans, but all over India.
And it wasn't just that. The government also opened up 1 million square kilometers of land for exploration bidding.
A huge part of that was opening up these massive no-go zones that were off-limits before, for security reasons. They basically just redrew the map and said, okay, it's open for business.
Okay, so now that we have this first confirmed find, it's like proof that there's really something there. And because of that, the floodgates are opening. The interest, the investment, it's all starting to pour in. So what's next?
Well, first off, India's own players are going all in. The big state-owned company ONGC is already talking about doubling the area they're exploring in the next 5 years. That's a huge commitment, and it shows they're serious.
And it's not just the local guys either. The big international giants are definitely paying attention. We're talking about huge names like Total Energies from France and American giants Chevron and, ExxonMobil, the same company that made that massive Guyana discovery. They're all lining up, wanting a piece of the action.
And all of this leaves us with one pretty powerful final thought. Sure, it's still early, and this is just one discovery, but it's about way more than that. It's proof that the new policies are working. It's a green light for a flood of new investment, and it's a real sign that the Andaman Sea might just be the key to a whole new chapter for India's energy independence. The game, folks, has definitely changed.